All right, we all good?
Yep.
All
All
right.
right, hello everybody. Blocked Essential here, and I am back in Somnium space for another weekly crypto meetup. We have some articles today about a little bit of crypto gaming, a little bit about crypto and blockchain as a whole. And as you can see behind me, the market itself is doing really well right now. So we're going to hop right into it. The first one, and one that really excites me, is that Microsoft is expanding their Xbox services to include a blockchain platform for gaming rights. So, pretty much what this means is they will be adding a blockchain-based financial system for accounting into their platform, into Xbox, as well as other services for content creators for music and whatnot. Essentially, this is going to replace their whatever internal service they have for transactions so that all future transactions will be running off of their own blockchain platform. The one that they are talking about using is the AI artificial intelligence platform that they created in 2019, so last year, called Azure, which allows the digitizing of contracts, which they already started using, minting some NFTs. They have these little Badger achievement NFTs that you can earn if you're a contributor to their community. So that is going to be used for different gaming, platforms, companies that go onto Xbox. I assume as far as trading digital goods, skins, and assets, starting to merge more into non-fungible tokens. They have no talk about actually using non-fungible tokens, but now that things are going to be running through the blockchain, it's definitely going to be easy enough to allow them to integrate the uh, assets and tokens and whatnot, create digital skins instead of ones that you just pay with cash. Implement blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other payments. And yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. It doesn't say when it's going to be implemented, but I assume sometime 2021, 2022 is when it's going to start actually functioning as opposed to whatever background system that they currently have.
Interesting.
So,
I mean, of course, it's always great to to see when big companies like Microsoft are doing some active moves into blockchain. The only, of course, question is, I'm I'm a use case junkie, so like, what would be the hey, Mark, hello, join us. Uh,
Hey.
uh, this is we don't hear you, Mark, but you can join the audience, and we'll continue. But yeah, so it's always interesting to see. I mean, the reality is, like, how
mhm.
would be the real use case of that? What will they exactly do? Like, is it just for settlement of payments, or is it that they
Yeah, so
actually
right
will?
now they're talking about new abilities. So it's planning to enhance the end-to-end royalties experience by the gaming ecosystem.
Hmm.
So what they want to do is offer the partners, the people joining in, making games or whatever for them, on the blockchain ecosystem, early visibility and accessibility of data in statements and invoices from a single source. So essentially, all the transactions to go through instead of probably whatever very complicated way they have to allow their partners to track the transactions
Hmm.
and see how many purchases and whatnot they have. It's all going to be running on the blockchain, so it's going to have an immutable ledger using their Azure AI, and that pretty much is going to allow easier use of tracking the data, pretty much, of purchases and all of
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Yeah. It's
yeah,
Yeah,
and that
I,
and
I
then
think
that's
I
the
think
start,
in
as
the
I said,
corporate
as
world,
it
it's the rule should be something like, the more um, um, the more boring the news sounds, the better it is for a blockchain ecosystem. Because if the news is
yes,
boring,
that's very
it
true.
it means that they're doing something real, and it will actually help real companies to do something on blockchain, and bring blockchain closer, and actually they'll
Hmm.
make use of blockchain in a certain way to actually relieve their current system. So I think that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, indeed. And Microsoft themselves said that the expanded solution comes with improved capabilities like speed, efficiency, control, and they have already started testing the blockchain service. So they've done what's called soak testing, which essentially is running it through like a trial run, essentially of like I don't know if it's fake transactions or test transactions, whatever, but just essentially see how fast it's going to run. Because as pretty much everybody knows Xbox is a very huge, platform, gaming system, whatever.
Yeah.
Microsoft is a major company, and there are millions and millions of users with millions of transactions. And currently, with this, they are up to 2 million purchases daily that can
Oh
be
wow,
processed through their
Wow,
blockchain system.
that's a lot.
nice.
Yeah, so they're doing pretty good as far as jumping from something, say, Ethereum, what their blockchain can handle, over to something where the Xbox ecosystem already has, like I just said, hundreds of millions of users actively playing already, as opposed to,
Yeah.
something like Crypto Wallet or a
Yeah.
dApp, decentralized application,
Yeah.
which,
Absolutely.
you have to get out to people and has, maybe hundreds of players. But
Yep.
so
Yep.
they're doing really good stuff and have been working out
All
for quite a
right.
while.
Microsoft was good.
So yes, Microsoft been no VR, but blockchain. So they're doing something.
It's coming.
Yes. As far as next technologies go, I know we talked about PayPal and Square accepting Bitcoin and crypto last week, and we have a few related articles to that. This one being Airbnb is considering integrating blockchain technology. So, because of the fact that PayPal and Square accept cryptocurrencies now, a lot of people are considering using it for their day-to-day transactions online and just kind of wherever, especially with this huge rise in Bitcoin that we can see. And so, because of that, they are changing their policies to accept more cryptocurrency. They're starting with Bitcoin and then accepting others. I assume Ethereum will be next, or maybe Ripple or Monero, or who knows, we'll see. Whatever PayPal accepts, I suppose. They say it's going to be able to be traded directly on the site and the retailers that work with PayPal. So, other big name companies, I assume, are going to be soon to follow, seeing that one as big as Airbnb is starting to accept it because of PayPal. And personally, I think it's all good news because that's just more companies getting into the space and more people are going to see it and start, wondering what Bitcoin is and get interested in the space and start checking it out. And that's how mass adoption occurs. So, very exciting stuff. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys
I
have
mean,
any comments on
Airbnb. I
that.
think I heard that Airbnb got. I mean, you don't need to be a PhD to know that that Airbnb got in trouble due to the COVID, and they had to restructure quite a
I
bit.
have not heard of that.
And they actually had a lot of financial cushion, so they raised a hefty round before the COVID, or right in the beginning of the COVID situation. But yeah, I mean, accepting Bitcoin is awesome. I mean, Ethereum, Bitcoin. The more options people have to pay, I think we should look at it from the different perspective. Like the perspective I look at it is like the more people can spend crypto on, the more independent crypto becomes from the fiat currencies and stuff. Because then people can live in the ecosystem without ever touching, you know, withdrawal services, right? The banks and stuff. You can just spend, you can earn and spend money in that ecosystem without ever touching the classical banking system. So that I think is pretty cool stuff.
Yes,
The more
yes, yes,
companies will
very
accept
true.
that, the better it is. That's how the mass adoption, as you said, is how the mass adoption comes.
And on a similar note, leading more into mass adoption, another article in the wake of PayPal and all of them accepting it, Visa is starting to work more and more onto adopting cryptocurrency into their platform as well, in quite a major way. So I know they've been talking about this for at least a year, but they are probably now getting close to the release. They have partnered with Coinbase to make a Visa crypto debit cards. So it's essentially a fee-free way to spend your crypto that is in your Coinbase account. So most people, at least in the U.S., I'm not sure about many other countries, but pretty much the fastest, easiest, and first way most people around here get into crypto is going onto Coinbase, signing up for an account, and then buying, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, whatever currency they decide to, through Coinbase, and then sending it to their wallet. Well, now you can just keep it in your Coinbase account and get yourself a related Coinbase Visa debit card. So that way, if you go to, say, Airbnb or whichever store or online shop accepts cryptocurrency, you can put in your, debit card information, and instead of having a Chase Bank or whatever,
Yeah.
banking system you have that has a monthly fee and, takes the money right out, it'll just come straight from your Coinbase account, out of whatever currency I assume you choose, probably Bitcoin being the main standard, but not quite sure. But yeah, so once that starts rolling out and people start getting it, and they have, Square, PayPal, and all these big time retailers to start spending the Bitcoin at, a lot of people are going to start seeing, what it can do. The fact that it's not a, country's currency. It's not, the U.S.'s money.
Yeah.
It's not Europe's money.
Yeah.
It's nobody's money, and it's everybody's money at the same time. So being able to use it in so many different ways, I definitely think we're starting to see the first real footsteps of mass adoption in the crypto space. Talking about IBM, Microsoft, PayPal, companies like this that are taking a legitimate stance towards cryptocurrency and blockchain in the positive, format, and trying to find ways to adopt it is. I love to see it. It's
I
amazing
do
to
as
see.
well. I have a
So.
question for everyone here. Like, what are your thoughts about Coinbase in general? Like, you know, what what do you think about it? Like, is it too big, too centralized? Is it great? Is
Mm,
it like will do you see any risks? Do you see what is the upside? How actually do you see Coinbase? Because I don't know. I have
I
mixed.
personally enjoy them.
Uh huh.
I use them, like I said, as most people, like when I go and buy Bitcoin or something
Yeah.
like that, I pretty
Absolutely.
much use Coinbase as a part to many others. Sure, I pay a tiny, whatever, like $2, $3 fee to get it, but besides that, I find it to be secure. It sends me any tax information every year because I am a U.S. citizen, for any, spending that I do that I need to report, and it's easy enough for me to withdraw into cash and transfer to any of my wallets. So I've just found it to be a convenience.
Yep.
I do, with you mentioning that, have some small concerns seeing them, doing things like partnering with Visa, which is an absolute ginormous, conglomerate as far as, someone in the financial space, and steps like that where I feel like they're trying to be the central powerhouse of buying and selling crypto, getting it and sending it to your wallet and exchanging it, whatever, which definitely can be a concern. But I don't know, maybe once we start seeing a few more steps directly towards that, I don't really see them trying to take over the space like that, because I know there's many other uh, you know um, exchanges and whatnot to use. Not all that you can withdraw the currency from, but at least
Yeah.
switching from one to another. So
What do you think? What
I'm
other things?
hopeful. I'm
Yeah,
hopeful for it.
yeah, me too. I mean, they have pretty much great service, but or not always, but the majority of time. What do you think, Robin? What do you think about Coinbase?
Yeah, it's interesting. I logged into Coinbase today to make a withdrawal, and suddenly it's asking me for more information. It wants to know more about me, and that's always a red flag, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that alongside Coinbase becoming more mainstream, we have viable and credible alternatives for most of what we need to do, at least from a DeFi standpoint. Like the improvements to my Ether Wallet's app, MetaMask has now got a huge amount more functionality built into it.
Yep.
Everything you want to do within Ethereum and bouncing around, great. But the moment you want to transition into the real world, which is ironic since we're in the virtual world and we're building a virtual economy
We're talking about
here and
real
all these
world.
virtual
Yes.
things.
What is that? I'm sorry.
And we're talking about alternatives. Like, what is the alternative to Coinbase? For most people, that is going to be the trusted brand. It's going to be the one that they think, okay, I trust this. And so,
Right.
yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, to be honest, like it's really easy to get money in and out of Coinbase. It's really easy for me as a European citizen to off ramp. I don't know what it's like from the rest of the world, but from a service point of view, great. From a decentralized
Mhm.
provider of services point of view, it's going the way it has to. I suspect, being what it is.
Well, and
So,
you
I
brought
think
it.
it's a great. I think it's a great option, but like, I think we need to see a competitor to Coinbase,
It's yeah,
a
it's
genuine.
exactly it's a needed option right now, and I think it's a well executed absolute must option right now, which is market needs that, and I think to mature. But you actually brought a really interesting topic, and we can actually make some philosophical discussion here. You said for many people it will be in the future, if it's not a Coinbase, it could be a trusted brand, right? Now that makes me think if we talk about decentralized money and not necessarily fiat currencies like government based money, we can say that in the future, and that thought has been brought already several times, like McDonald's could have their own money, right? And Coca-Cola can suddenly have their own money, which is, could be blockchain based and should be blockchain based probably. And then, can we end up in the world where we have hundreds of thousands of different monies, let's say, currencies on the blockchain running around, and people just paying with them. If you go to, I don't know, if you go to Tokyo, you'll know that many places take, I don't know, McDonald coin or MCD, or and then some will take Ethereum, some will take something else. Or you think it's a super big utopia to think about it like that? Because I can see future where this is happening, where just companies will decide, why wouldn't I issue my own money? People trust us. Yes, they can spend in our houses. Yes, can I make people spend it in other places? With my power, I actually can. So I think that's that could be something. And I'm not even talking
Well,
about virtual worlds, right?
yes, as a theoretical question, yes, it's wonderful. Unfortunately, governments tend not to like this very much, and while we're still living in nations governed
Yes.
by elected parliaments, these things are unlikely to happen. So you could see, obviously, Libra was an attempt to do that, create a social currency that was built to be delivered
By
directly
a
to
wrong
people's
company,
Facebook
unfortunately.
accounts.
Yeah. But
Well, but the fact is, right now I'm using an Oculus Quest 2.
mhm.
This is Facebook's VR product, and it's great. But
Yeah.
alongside it, you are making a deal with the devil that you are basically plugging in, like, every conversation, everything you do, all your activity is going to be tracked through Facebook in order for them to deliver, quote unquote, a better service. All of this is just, do we surrender to the machine? Do we accept that this is basically the way we're going? Or do we say, okay, I'm going to step off and be somewhere else? Now, the thing about decentralized
Oh,
technology
we're losing
is
your
that
microphone a
finding
little
out
bit.
this
You're
tool
far away
use.
from the mic.
Yeah, I don't hear you.
The thing about the
Oh yeah.
decentralized world is that it gave us at least the glimpse of an alternative in which that could be possible. But when we talk about Coinbase, we're talking about that clear point of friction, getting in and out. And to your point, maybe we don't need to get out. Maybe out and in is becoming a point where it doesn't matter anymore. And I think that's where it's very interesting, the intersection point. But like backed was Starbucks. We
Yeah.
haven't heard about that in a while.
Yeah.
Starbucks. But again, we're talking about megalithic brands here. How long is it going to be until Apple steps in? Because surely they will. They have all the data, they have all the technology, they have a reason to do so. What's stopping them? And I think if Apple does it, then it's game over, basically.
But I agree. But to back to your point, like when you said, okay, governments won't like it. Um, don't you think that it could happen that once one government, any government, let's say medium-sized or big-sized government, stumbles, and I'll ask my question in the end, but like it could be that some government, stumbles, there's something happens, or just one government will be super progressive, and I think once one does it or several, then suddenly it's like with innovation. If someone adopts innovation, you can't stop it because you will be in a disadvantage as the government, as the society, for not doing it, right? So let's say suddenly, I don't know, Germany, maybe a bad example, but let's say Japan, right? Japan adopts cryptocurrency on a wide scale and allows this kind of behavior where people own hundreds of currencies and everybody accept everything, and somehow they deal with, like, suddenly countries who don't do that, people will want to go there because it's somewhere where it gives them advantage. and it will put pressure on other countries to do so. So my question is, in the end, do you think this ever happens without a major unrest or wars or something where just people somehow, government disproves themselves as the functional means of monetary control, and then suddenly people say, let's do this in a decentralized way inside our country, because why not? I mean, it could work at some point.
Yeah,
Just a
it
philosophical
can work.
question.
I mean, I think it can be.
Oop.
Yeah, we're getting pretty deep here and pretty broad, but the it doesn't have to be a war, and it doesn't have to be anything more insidious than simply dynasties over time lose their power.
Yeah.
And the US has been the number one reserve currency of the world for many, many decades
Oh, it's
now.
changing already. Yeah.
It is not impossible to think that that could no longer be the case. And if it isn't the case, if the dollar can no longer be trusted, big statement, they'll do everything they can to prop it up. And of course, they can print as much money as they want. But let's say that happens. And of course, we look towards China and their CCCP currency. Like, what happens? I genuinely don't know. And I think it's not for us to think about that. I think basically what we must always think of ourselves is as, we are an alternative. When people think about their savings and what they can do with them, DeFi protocols offer a future in which there is more fluidity of your money. There's more choice. There's more ability to move assets to a place where they can do more for you. And that's pretty compelling. And if you think about it as, for the FIRE movement, for instance, financially independent, retire early, DeFi makes a ton of sense. It's scary, and these are people who are risk averse. They want to save their money. But if you give them the option to put a portion of what they're doing into something where there's a really interesting and exciting way to get to that mystical figure of whatever they're trying to accomplish, to retire early, that's a great story. And it doesn't have to be a massive upheaval of everything. It can be an add-on to people's financial behavior. And it doesn't need to be like, we can spend Bitcoin in McDonald's. It can be something simple as, here's a different style of savings account. We've seen mobile banks and digital banks do okay, not great, but do okay, and offer services which are interesting, and definitely experiences which are much better. And I think DeFi particularly, and of course there's more to decentralized mechanics than just DeFi, but for me that's a great entry point for a new breed of crypto natives to come in and experience this space. But then, when I look around me and I look where we are, I'm just like, come and play in our sandbox. Come and see what, this world looks like. This is the first time I'm doing one of these live VR meetups, but like, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm here. Like, what we can do here and what we can accomplish here is a lot more than just an alternative. This is something completely different, and it's wild and exciting. And cryptocurrencies and crypto exchange and barter, it's like Burning Man in Ultra HD. It's fantastic.
Burning Man in Ultra HD, exactly. I mean, good point. So, Block, do you have any other news? Let me put the camera somehow here. Wait, let me put it here. Block, are you still with us?
Yeah, that was
Alright, cool.
okay. Yep. As far as other ones, kind of jumping off of that and switching it up a little bit into more crypto gaming, Gala Games has paved the path for blockchain in a deal with Brave. And this is pretty cool because I have been involved with crypto gaming, dApps, decentralized applications for about 3 years now. And I've seen a mix of both. From the browser-based ones like CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity, to the more intense Windows download PC only games, Nine Lives Arena, Forgotten Artifacts, etc., etc. And what Gala Games is doing, they have one game out and one game in development. The one that is out is called Town Star. It's essentially Farmville, but on the blockchain. So you go and you kind of create a little town. You start collecting resources, hay and whatnot. And in the end, you get non-fungible tokens. These little collectibles that go onto your farm that give you special bonuses and whatnot, like extra water, extra resources, extra production speed, etc. And it's free to play. You don't need any crypto to get started. You don't need to spend any crypto in the store. Completely free to play. and they do like seasonal challenges with ranking systems, and then pay out tokens and awards based on your ranking in the system. So something very cool. But the real news with them and the partnership with Brave is in their other game, which is in development called, where did I just have that? Mirandus, which is a fantasy RPG, which you go, you play, you create your character, you go out and you fight monsters, you collect these loot, the resources, you go and get items, and all of these items are on the blockchain. And if you may or may not know, the Brave browser, they have this cool feature where you can have these intuitive ads, where instead of just pop-up ads that show up when you're browsing a website or whatever, you opt into it and it'll give you specific advertisements that you watch. I don't believe I'm currently opted in, so I don't get the special ads, just regular ones. But essentially, for watching these ads, you get Brave token, the BAT token, I believe it's called, BAT,
BAT, yeah.
which goes onto their own wallet, and it's just another cryptocurrency for advertisements. I have a few ad blockers to give me crypto, so it's a kind of similar thing, reward system for watching ads. And with this partnership, they will allow you to spend their BAT token in the in-game shop. So any resources, items, whatever, you can go and spend your Brave, the browser tokens, which you collected and earned through watching ads. So instead of going and having to spend, $10, $20 on Bitcoin or Ethereum just to get started spending in the shop, you can use the tokens that you've already earned just by browsing the internet on its own. And the other cool thing about this is that Gala Games is working to create higher functioning games on the browser. So both Townstar and I believe Mirandus is going to be developed as a HTML5 browser-based game. And the reason that they're doing this, at least one of, is to avoid having their apps on the App Store. So kind of in a few large-scale I believe court cases and articles and whatnot been going on in the past few months. There's talk of Epic Games, Fortnite leaving the app stores and whatnot because Apple and I believe Google Play has the same, a 30% tax on all in-game transactions. So if you go and say buy an item in the game that costs $1, the Apple gets 30 cents, the developer gets 70 cents. And that might not seem like the biggest chunk, but if you're say Clash of Clans or a game that has millions of active daily users, that's hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars that are going into Apple and Google Play just for your game being on there, all the revenue that's going to them. So by allowing these games to be directly playable on the browser, they can avoid having you have to go and download it through the App Store and then pay the extra tax, because you're paying the tax on it. If you pay the 30% on it and they know they're having 30% taken away, you're not going to get as much. You're not going to get as much coins on it, or maybe you're going to pay a little bit extra to get whatever in-game item, just because they know a chunk of money is going straight to the company. So with this as well, you'll probably get more, out of what you're paying, because they don't have to pay as much in service fees, which
Yeah,
I think is positive all around. And not just in the blockchain case, but for apps and games in general, I think this is definitely a positive way to go.
I agree. I think like in general, like having alternatives to Google Play and Apple is great, especially if it's a centralized alternative. But believe it or not, like I'm not a Apple fan at all. Uh, Not that I'm a Google fan, but in terms of like hardware sales and stuff. But like, you know, I have nothing against Apple taking 30% of cut on the freaking platform they've created, and they've spent money to actually make it great. So developer they give a lot of freedom to developer to just go there, and they give so much exposure. Like I think the whole battle of Epic against Apple, I just have one word to describe it in my opinion: just lame. It's a money grab by Epic. They try to put this holy grail of saying, hey, we're fighting for your rights, players, and supporters, blah blah. In the end of the day, they just want more money, and that's just my opinion. Of course, if there will be a great alternative
Mhm.
for the store, that's positive for every user, for every company. The more competition, the better it is.
Yep, I definitely agree, and especially on Fortnite's case, as I have seen many articles on them in the past for them stealing people's, dance moves and things like that, selling
Yep.
it in, poses and whatnot in there, where the person that created it or wherever it came from doesn't get anything in return,
Yep.
yet they're charging, five, ten
Exactly.
dollars for a stupid dance that they're racking up millions in profit for. So I definitely agree. However, I think for any small-time developer, such as one that's maybe just starting out, trying to gain up a little bit extra profit, and doesn't maybe doesn't have is trying to find something else than having to pay such a large cut of fees. Though I do agree that if it is on their platform, you're using their phone, their device, whatever, you should be required to pay a little something for all that extra service. But that's not here nor there for me because I am not personally a game developer, nor am I trying to upload one, so I'm just speaking
Yeah.
from
Sure.
my own point of view.
Sure.
So,
Sure. But by the way, while we were speaking, the Ethereum made $4 already up. Just saying for those
is
who are.
that right? Yep, got the screen behind me, so you're probably just seeing those numbers tick right up. Good day to be in crypto, definitely, definitely. So, where's the next one? Riot Games introducing crypto to esports uh, through partnerships. They had a original partnership with Referum, and
Mm-hmm.
this is for another top-notch game, League of Legends. So pretty much through this, they were allowing users to earn Bitcoin. Originally, before the current Referum update, directly through playing the game, now you can earn tokens and rewards and whatnot through watching streamers on their platform. But this is pretty much a kind of alternative to directly integrating crypto into games for users that want to play, say, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, ones, like that are, AAA titles, already have huge amount of players, and they still want to try to earn something from it. So normally these are like wages, if you win a match, if you get so many kills, yada yada, you have to complete achievements or challenges that you generally have to wager a few tokens on your own to get started for, but it is a way for users to be able to earn some cryptocurrency through playing games that don't originally have it integrated. And I've been seeing that, slowly through more and more platforms. I know more companies are trying to find ways to integrate, crypto into these big name titles without having them, like Activision or Blizzard or whatever,
Yeah.
actively integrate it themselves. And as far as it goes in the end, I think it's just another way for users to use cryptocurrency. Through the past few years, we've had so many projects coming out trying to sell tokens or make tokens and give them a use case and whatnot. And there's definitely enough gamers out there. So overall, I support it just because. There's a lot of people that like to do things like, betting, esports, betting websites, and whatnot. And, if they want to take the risk, as one thing that most people hear when getting into crypto is that, always expect your money to, disappear, for it to be gone. At least back when I first got into it. So if you're kind of going about it in that mindset where, hey, I'm probably going to lose it, but I could make something, then, especially if you're good at the game.
Yeah.
But,
I think
yeah,
the bigger
just
picture. I
more
mean, Riot
integration in
Games
crypto
are
gaming.
huge, and I think they're one of the companies which are doing a great job for the gaming ecosystem in general. I mean, I like League of Legends. I don't play it much, but sometimes I do. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there's much bigger story behind it. It's like, one thing is of course accepting and doing stuff, but if they place assets on the blockchain and if they allow interoperability or something like that, where they kind of like, because in League of Legends you can't sell your account or you can't sell your, your stuff, but people still do it illegally on eBay. But if you actually are able to transfer stuff and trade, I think this will just be a nuclear bomb, in a good way. Will just flourish the amount of transactions and amount of everything, and of course the revenue for Riot Games as well. But Yeah, let's see. I don't know. It's for them. It's super hard because they have also millions of transactions, and for them to make a step like that, it's a huge commitment.
Yes.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens for sure.
One thing I definitely hope is that if Xbox and Microsoft's, their blockchain solution ends up coming out strong and is a viable enough solution for gaming, on consoles for all the transactions to go through, that more companies such as Riot Games and whatnot will start implementing it, and we'll have more games running on blockchain just for the transactions and for all the data and just the ease of access and use,
Yeah,
because once we get to that point and it's running on the blockchain, it becomes that much easier to integrate non-fungible tokens and digital assets directly
yeah,
into it,
yeah,
replacing skins that are just on their server into actual digital goods that maybe they have. Each game has their own wallet or whatever, and you can go to the marketplace and sell your skins and tokens and whatnot. So
yeah.
it's definitely moving forward. The gaming space is definitely going forward, and I'm very excited about it.
Absolutely cool.
Let's
Yeah,
see, I
good
think
news.
we have, yes, 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 indeed. And then just one more other little one. Crypto gaming pioneer CloudBet adds the DAI stablecoin to their Argentina market. So this is another sports betting kind of platform. Where you go and do casinos or roulette or betting on soccer games, football games, actual sports, but instead of actual cash, you're using cryptocurrency and whatnot. And they have added the MakerDAO's DAI stablecoin to it, which we can see up here. It is actually quite one of the large ones, stable at $1 as expected of a stablecoin. And pretty much the main reason that they're doing it is, as we've heard of in the past, Venezuela and a lot of other countries in, you know, South America and whatnot that, are maybe trying to find other alternatives to using their own currency directly
Yeah,
and want something stable, something that's not going to, rapidly inflate or deflate and change, at the drop of a dime. So having a stable coin, one or the other, whether it's their USDT or the, DAI, is just another form of currency people can go and, put in their cash or whatever currency they're currently using. This is going on, as I said, in Argentina, specifically for this company, and convert it to a stable currency, stable coin, so that way it doesn't flare up and down so dramatically, and you can go and kind of bet more with ease. And as we see, this company, more companies adding in stable coins and cryptocurrencies, altcoins, and things like that onto their platforms, just like with Airbnb and PayPal and everyone else. This is just kind of seeing more and more of the mass adoption, people and companies and really everybody, seeing the use cases for cryptocurrency and the ease of, use and ease of access and not having to deal with so many fees and whatnot. And hopefully with this, we'll just see more companies doing the same thing and more use cases for blockchain coming out and,
yeah,
it just
yeah.
becoming more and more mainstream.
It's more and more mainstream. Exactly. More use cases. More people will use it. More adoption it will get, and more spotlight it will get. Cool. Yeah. I mean, good
Yeah, yes,
positive
indeed.
news. Positive day on the chart.
Very
Uh,
positive
and
for people. I know I keep saying the space is going up. Bitcoin, for just kind of another nitpick for people that don't know, just hit 23,000. It's at what, 23, just about 500, which
Ooh.
is a special case because it is the new record market cap. From the previous high of 2,000, which it has been, or not 2,000, 20,000. Let me correct myself there, which we have kind of been teetering on for the past, what, month or so
yeah,
now,
yeah,
which was originally the highest cap from, I want to say 2017. I don't know if that's completely correct, but I feel like it was
Yeah, December
2017 when it first hit.
2017.
Yes, okay, okay. Because that was like right around when I first started getting into the space, so hoped I'd remember. So yeah, exciting news. Ethereum is going back with it. It was at 700 like 3 years ago, and it's kind of been at this between 3 and 500 range for the past 2 years or so. Now we're seeing it's. We were talking about it shooting back up to hopefully 700 by maybe the end of the event, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen.
No.
Hopefully by
Or
the end of today with all
yeah.
these gains.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
could happen definitely.
isn't
And
just,
the market cap of Ethereum is like what, 70 billion? Over 70 billion, I think,
I
something
don't know.
like
I
that.
think we can find out.
It's huge.
Eh,
Oh yeah, we can actually have a look, right?
We can.
Yeah, market cap 76 billion, just a little over, as I said. It's just plus minus 6 billion. I mean, who counts them, right?
Not when you're making that much money. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, that's why I love this website. You get so much amazing data on all the crypto.
Yeah, it's a great, and it looks great as well. It's such a visually appealing
Yeah, it does.
thing.
It does. It really
it's
does.
just really cool to let me bring camera closer to it and just show our live stream viewers what we're talking about. Yeah, we're talking about this chart, and here we have all the currency, and you can click on the currency, and then you have the more information. You have the chart, of course, here. And you can change chart to, let's say, 1 year. It's loading. Can I use candlestick somewhere? Yeah, it should be somewhere. Let's try trading.
Yeah, it should be on the bottom if you click on it under the.
Oh yeah, I see
volume.
trading view. Yeah, it's awesome. So here the real time view happening, and we can choose exactly. Okay, 1 hour, for example. That's what Ethereum. Oh no, that's not Ethereum. Wait, it's Ethereum BTC. We don't want that. We want something else, but it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool website. What is the link? The link is coin360.com
Yes.
/coin. So coin360.com /coin for everyone who is interested, or they can of course come to this parcel, which is, let me check, what is the number of the parcel? Do you remember?
3656, if I remember correctly.
3656. You can come to this parcel, come here on the top floor, and enjoy sitting here and watching the moon rise.
Check it out
while the
yourself,
prices are going
the,
while the prices are going up or
Oh
down.
no, doesn't that sound like a day?
Yeah, exactly. That just sounds right. You know, like you're sitting.
Got the
here.
mountain view.
Exactly.
Got the
let me
sun
show the
coming
mountain
up
view.
or the moon coming up, and then you can just watch your Ripple rise and your Bitcoin go up, and
exactly while you're staring at the sky and in the infinite possibilities. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the news. It's great. Thanks for coming, everyone.
No problem.
Great discussion.
Thank you, everybody else, for joining in as well.
Someone is flying. You see, that's how you spend your evening, afternoon, right? You just look at price rises, look at the virtual mountain, you fly around.
Happy.
Exactly. The life is good, and
hey, maybe one question to the end. What do you think a sellout will trigger? What's the next trigger for the sellout in crypto?
Ooh,
what's your opinion?
Tricky. Okay, let's do some predictions. Not an investment advice though, but let's do some predictions.
It's normally higher than I originally assumed, so I'm gonna say 27,000 because I don't think it's gonna hit that 30,000 cap before it goes back down. But it's definitely gonna keep going.
But do you think?
Okay, like 20,000, 27,000, and then a correction.
Yeah.
I think higher. I think the market is so hot, and I see people like so so that I think because it broke all-time high, the swings will be higher. So I think if we are like at 27,000, I think we'll just reach 30,000, and then once this like around about 30k, maybe 31, then we'll just drop. So in Ethereum, if I translate it to Ethereum, I think somewhere around 750. We'll see a backdrop maybe to 650 or 680 or something like that.
I think even 800, because 800 was like a top.
Yeah.
Right. It could be as well. Yeah.
Maybe
it could be as well. Correct.
Yeah,
it could be. It could reach
yeah.
there. But like Ethereum, it could just do like $20 in like what hour?
Also not to forget with the ETH 2.0 launch that happened like 2 weeks ago. So Ethereum already has its own set of great news that's helping it rise up.
Yes. Yes, and all these functionalities and stuff, like so many developers are starting to build
It's
on
like
that.
Bitcoin alone, as you can see, is dragging up like 70+% of the entire market.
Yep.
And then whichever ones already have their own use case to be going up.
Yep.
Most of the red on here is coming from stable coins, probably ones that are just not really able to go up. Ooh, we
Yep.
got a few
Yeah,
small red
exactly.
ones, so those are probably
Let's
those
say
are too small.
95% of the market is green, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. Pretty cool day. And the cool thing is this meetup, this prices, historically recorded. Now it's on record, and we'll remember that day. Whatever happens after this day can be remembered and was broadcasted to people. So we should do it. We should do a selfie, guys. Come here. Come to this sport. I'll set up a camera.
That I am okay.
Let's do a
Awesome.
selfie. Robin, are you with us, or you're dreaming in the wild Somnium space?
In the Matrix.
In the
Something
Matrix,
like
probably the
that.
letter. Okay, let's do a selfie without Robin. But let me say, okay, 5 seconds, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
I'll send you the picture. We'll post something. All right, so let me say goodbye to
Beautiful.
the viewers of the stream. Thank you very much, everyone, once again. Thank you for watching.
Woo.
I don't know why you're watching it on the monitor and not here, but you know the drill. I'll always point it at you. But yeah, thanks
There's
a lot.
always next week.
Exactly. Look at the boon. And as I always say, until the next time, see you on the other side of the monitor. Goodbye. See you all.
Bye.
Take it easy, everybody.